Hey everyone, welcome back to House on Pleasant Street. I'm going to be continuing with a little bit of work here in the kitchen. Of course, the kitchen's all done. You saw this before if you've watched any of my previous videos. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to box in this waste pipe and these electrical wires. I've been talking about this for quite a while now. So plan for today is to box this in. I bought some lumber. And at the same time, I'm going to fix up the ceiling where the water leak was. Okay, well, we got our bathroom all finished upstairs. That's the hole we had cut. Well, that's where the water damage was. But then I had to also make the hole a little bit bigger to access the plumbing. Let's patch this hole up. Let's make this disappear. As you can see, I've trimmed out the hole a little bit and I've made a patch. Before I put this patch up, I'm just going to mark a little bit where I have lumber. I have lumber here, here, and I do in this little corner. But I gotta watch it because there's a water pipe right there. So I'll put something in here maybe, something back here. And before I do that, I notice that this ceiling has a little bit of a, I don't know if you can see that, but I can. I'm going to drive. You see that movement there when I squeeze. So I'm going to drive a screw here to suck this up. And I'm going to drive a screw over here to suck this up as well. Because, you know, I got a lot of different layers here, and you see where the plaster was, the skim coat on top. So it's going to go on pretty thick. So I'm going to fasten this up a little bit, put my patch in, dig out some tape, and paste this on. Okay, I've put a screw on either side to help suck up that ceiling to the strapping. I've also marked around where I have lumber, where I can screw my patch to, and where I'm not going to touch any plumbing. Let's get our patch up. Okay, well, I've got my patch in place, and here it is. And this is a regular 1/2-inch drywall. And problem here is that because this house is so old, this is the area of the ceiling that we did not redo. This is newer. This is not 100 years old, but with all the old strapping and everything underneath, my drywall, there's still a gigantic groove here. So luckily, I had some 1/4 inch left over. And I made another small skinny patch that I'm going to put over this. And yeah, so it'll require less mud. So let me stick this 1/4 inch drywall on top of this 1/2 inch. And then I will tape these seams up and pull out the mud. Okay, there's the 1/4 inch drywall on top of the 1/2. So that makes a full 3/4, which is still just shy of the finished surface of the ceiling. Let's throw on some mesh tape and let's mud this up, make this hole go away. Okay, we got the edges all meshed up. Let's smear some mud on there. See what kind of a mess we can make. Okay, that's one coat. Not perfect. Let's walk away, let this dry up, and we'll come back another day and give it a second coat. Well, out of my 3 boards, 1, 2, and 3, the first one I sliced at counter height, and I inserted, I nailed and glued, and I nailed and glued. Now I think what I'm going to do next is my next piece is going to go on the front to make the box shape. And so what I've done is I've cut out a little notch that's going to fit around the countertop. Not perfect, but nothing a little caulking can't fix. And hopefully that's going to line up, and I'm going to brad nail that in place. And then that's kind of my plan now, just kind of I was gonna build the box first and put it up, but then because of all this notching and stuff, I'm just gonna do it this way. And of course, my house is 101 inches to the ceiling, and the boards only came in 96, so there's a gap here. A gap. But I'm gonna come back with some trim. And I've staggered the boards, so I've cut the notch so that when this board goes on, it'll stand up a little bit taller. I plan on having trim at the bottom and trim at the top, kind of to make it look like a column. Nothing fancy, but just a way to disguise that old pipe. And I'm going to have to fiddle in here and try to fix this up a little bit also. Let's see if I can get this piece in place. Let's see if I didn't bugger this up too bad. And we'll measure up for that third one to go on the side like this. Okay. Okay, here's our box. Tentatively nailed and tacked into place. Looks hideous right now, but I think if we trim this up, if we fill our nail holes, fix up the trim, fix up the base, give it a coat of paint, I think it's going to work. I think we'll get away with it. I think it'll be fine. Let's progress here. Let's progress. This is my second coat, and I've just started the sanding. So I'm going to take this down a little bit more, and then I'm going to do some touch-ups. Okay. Okay, and here's the column, all done, sort of. Just do a little bit more crack filling and caulking. And I have fixed the wainscoting here with another piece I had. I got to come back with the paint this up. Let's see what she looks like when she's painted. At least the pipe is gone now. Okay, and here's our pipe all boxed in. This was my idea of making this look like a column. And it kind of does. It kind of does. It's notched out around the counter. It goes flush to the back wall. I had to add a little piece of trim in there because I had a bit of a gap because the wall was so uneven. So I got a little piece added there. That's okay, I think. I was able to make the column come out far enough that it actually butt up against the original piece of whatever you want to call that, chair molding or what have you. So that was there for 100 years. I was able to match that up, so that was good. A little bead of caulking, and that's fixed. I did replace this piece of wood. Now it's painted. I got a little foot at the bottom, nothing fancy at all. I was going to put another detail down here, but I've got to come back with a piece of trim here for the transition. So I think I'm just going to leave that alone for now anyway. I think this is okay. This is my column. This is how I made that big waste pipe disappear. And it kind of looks okay. Kind of turned out okay. And this here is my ceiling fixed. So I had a few coats. I've did 2 coats of mud, sanded, came back, did some touch-ups, and I just blended the paint in. It's a little bit shadowy right now because it's still wet. So hopefully that'll tone down a bit. I'm sure it will. This ceiling was painted not even a year ago, so I'm using the same paint and blending in. Right now you can see the brush marks because the paint's not dry. But there you have it. Ceiling fixed.